Hi, I'm Deb Potts. Thanks for joining me here today. I just wanted to give you a little background on where I'm going in the new year 2017. I don't know about you, but I'm glad 2016 is over. It was quite a year for us. In just before Christmas, my mom had a major stroke, and that really plunged us into some chaos in the family. And she was put immediately on hospice, and she still remains on hospice a year later, more than a year later. So that was emotional time and lots of projects that had to be done to be able to meet her needs and walk on that journey with her, but also some really sweet times that we've experienced as a family in walking together through this time. Shortly after that, my husband and I became the lead couple for the marriage team at our campus at church. And that had a huge learning curve to it. So I had another job to do on top of everything else. And if somebody had told me in January what I was going to actually accomplish last year with all that, I would have laughed if they had told me, "You're actually going to publish a book on top of everything." I did. Look at this. Making Peace with Prickly People, my print book, was published in September. I can't believe it. I still can't believe that I found time to get that done with everything else that was on my platter. That's only a testimony to God's goodness. I kept focused on goals. I kept focused on prayer, and He got me through that. Don't you love this cover? I'm so excited about it. My daughter Robin and I went to a bookstore and took pictures of different book covers and looked at different colors, and then Robin actually found this prickly guy online at a graphics store. And so I just love him. I think that's a perfect picture of a prickly person. You know, his back is turned to you and he's like, you're going to touch him, you're going to get speared, right? And then here's the back of the cover. Isn't that cool? I'm Mad at You. That came from the title of my workshop that I did for our church women's retreat last spring. I guess they think I'm an expert at being mad. And I am, actually. I know a lot about being mad. So there's my book. I'm so thrilled with it. So that came out in September, and then shortly after that, the Kindle book was published. So this year, I've been praying about my new goals and my new projects for this year. Of course, I'm still trying to get this book into the hands of the people that need it the most, those who are maybe struggling in their relationship with God, with themselves, or with other people. So my book is really about relationships with God, with ourselves, and with other people. So one of my big projects in the next 90 days, believe it or not, I am going to write a devotional that's going to go along with my book. It's going to be called Mindful. My subtitle right now is Christian Meditations for Meaningful Relationships. And it's going to be based on a number of posts that I put on Facebook in the last few years about prickly people. So I'm going to go through my whole catalog of those and pick the best ones and create a devotional and get it published as a perma-free book on Kindle. So you could be looking for that. I'll make sure that I'll let you know when it's ready. It'll be available as a print book eventually too, but not for free, of course. So my other big project for this year is to get the blog going again. I don't know if you noticed, but in July I stopped blogging. I had so much on my shoulders getting that book into print and doing all the editing at the end that I had to stop blogging. And I kind of used that time to reevaluate where I was going with my blog. I started blogging in 2011, and I ended up with a gazillion different categories. I was blogging about every kind of topic you can imagine. And I knew that I needed to kind of cull that down and make it a little narrower. So I decided to cut a lot of my older blogs out and reevaluate my categories. I came up with 3 categories, and all the new blogs will be done in those categories. The first one is called Discipleship, and that's all about loving God and having an amazing relationship with Him. It's about His personality. It's about His plan for us, about hope and peace and trust. It's about worship and about prayer. The second category is called Mentorship, and that's about our relationship with ourselves, our self-identity. If we are in Christ, we are a new creation. It's almost like we have to get to know each other, or get to know ourselves all over again. So this one has to do with our personalities. It has to do with our thought life, with our prayer life. It has to do with women's ministry and our goals and our productivity and the way that we grow to be like Christ. And then the third category is called relationship, and that's about having wonderful relationships with those prickly people. So it's about identifying their personalities. I'll be talking about biblical personalities to help us to, get a little better at that terminology of the personalities and identifying different personalities. It's about forgiveness, marriage, boundaries, issues like that will be in that category. So those are my projects, at least the ones that I know about right now. And I've got my plans for this year, but maybe God has a different plan for me. I don't really know. None of us does. But that doesn't stop me from setting some goals. I want to set those goals, but I'm going to go through it with my knees bent and flexed and willing to change direction if my situation changes. And I hope that I can do that with peace in my mind, that I can go through that with prayer, whatever is up ahead. And maybe you're like me. Maybe you've got some goals set for this year, but you really don't know what's up ahead for you. None of us really does. But if we can go through any situation that comes to us while we are in Christ, looking with His perspective at the world around us, at the people around us, it makes a world of difference. So I hope that my blog this year will encourage you. I will be praying for you, and I thank you for being on this journey with me. Talk to you soon.